This place is rather dark. It's scary, isn't it?
Even if there is a bracelet here, it might be hard to find.
Wait, I think I see it over there. Yes, that's the bracelet of the doting sister.
Alright, I'll summon the emblem. Soar high, emblem of revelation.
It feels like I've been asleep for ages. Thank you for waking me. I am Camilla, Princess of Nor.
Emblem Camilla, we've come to ask for your help. I'm the Divine Dragon.
I almost can't resist someone who asks for help so sincerely. Almost. I need to think about it though, which I promise to do if you can prove your strength.
You plan to test me then?
What? Is battle not to your liking? Why, you're as gentle as Corin. Of course, it can be preferable to reach an agreement with words alone, but sometimes that isn't possible. Sometimes you have to fight, even if it's your own family you're fighting.
What do you mean by that?
My sister was torn between those she was raised with and those she was related to. Even while wrenched between Nor and Hoshido, she showed magnificent resolve. She fought for peace and forged her own path, even though others resented her. Is your resolve as strong as hers? I will not settle for anything less.
I'm not comparing myself to anyone, but I am determined. You're welcome to see for yourself.
Well then, I assume that means you accept my challenge?
I do.
No hesitation. I like that. Shall we begin?
Welcome to Camilla's Paralogue, based on her chapter in Fate's Birthright. We've already seen a few maps with the interesting wrinkle of enemy flyers that attack you from impassable terrain. Chapters 3 and 7 use this idea to disrupt any team that gets too comfortable player phasing everything with units you almost have to let attack first. This map develops on that motif. The catch is that the designer took breaks to cackle maniacally as thunder pealed. In chapters 3 and 7, you had a wide corridor with only the edges at risk. Here, it's single and double file the whole way. Chapters 3 and 7 are long for early Engage maps, but by no means grueling. This paralogue is one of the longest I can remember, because for grounded units the path to Camilla is a single snaking corridor weaving its way across the entire map. Chapter 3 and 7 had no reinforcements or time pressure, so you could play defense if you wanted. This map takes the opposite approach, truly infinite reinforcements. If you move too slowly, the enemies will pincer you, exhaust your resources, and only then grant you the mercy of death. If that weren't enough, Camilla will destroy buildings to create more flyer-only tiles, so your etier that was safely tucked against a wall can easily find herself one-rounded by an enemy flyer. I wanted to tell you how that AI works, so I conducted extensive research, i.e. pleading for help on Discord. Camilla targets obstacles based on how many units are within 6 tiles. How are ties broken? RNG. How does it sometimes break the entire obstacle and sometimes only half? RNG. So much for planning around that. Almost nothing in how other maps are scripted is RNG. They really went out of their way to make this chapter an experience. I don't want to hate on the map too much. It can be fun when played straight up. You're going to want a really good team, preferably with a lot of flyers and few frail player phase units. It's a shame that the archers you'd want to bring to this map against the enemy flyers can struggle to find safety, but you can make it work. If you want a challenge, Camilla's Paralogue can be arguably the hardest map in the game, and unlike most Engage maps, it really is a battle of attrition. 30 turns over a couple hours wouldn't at all be unusual, and so you can't just rely on a blitzkrieg approach. Anecdotally, the majority of players do not take the long way. It's a brutal map, and in a game that normally does a great job of making its difficulty fun, this map sticks out as frustrating. Luckily, it's designed to have a short way. Let's talk about that. If you're deploying all flyers, with maybe a Celica or staff user who can teleport, you can just go straight north, skipping the knife fight in a phone booth to the east. The choke points actually work to your advantage if you're not limited by them. You can use 1 or 2 units to hold off the entire map, while your main squad takes out Camilla. Mercifully, she moves. You can bait her from far away and take her out quickly. Remember when I said Micaiah can solve almost any problem you face in Engage? That's true here. With some combo of rewarp, warp, and or rescue, you don't need flyers to move your entire army north past the obstacles. From there, you're a little more cramped than a flyer team would be, but you can still get to Camilla and handle things without too much trouble. That's what I'm doing, if the video length, title, and grand total of 1 flyer on my team didn't give it away. To level with you all, there's a toxic gamer part of me that wants to beat this map without teleportation just for bragging rights. The rest of me thinks a 2-hour video with smug gatekeeping commentary would probably not be a positive contribution to the Fire Emblem community. Besides, I want to use Camilla throughout the game, or the mechanical depth of her skills in case you are wondering, and I'm not enamored with my chances of clearing this map the long way given the team I have now. Warp skipping is a feature, not a bug. The designers gave you all these staves in Micaiah for a reason. Within this series, this is the last time I'll use teleportation to significantly shorten a map. That's based on what I think will make the best content. Don't interpret that as a normative claim about how you should play. If you have more fun skipping a map, that's why they let you do it. Céline is my Micaiah user. You only get Cleric Plus at Bond level 13, so your options are limited if you want to use the B rank rescue. Fram, Ken, and Martial Monk, but no Griffin Knights available now, Ken. Most of our units can just go straight to the boss. Alir and Jean are using Roy and Tiki, who are great frontliners but not good for a boss snipe. They'll hold off enemies and get experience away from Camilla. Let's do this.
Shall we begin? Allow me to start by showing you the power of the Dragon Vein.
This new terrain will give our flying enemies the upper hand. We better be on our guard.
I swear they put this gap here just for rewarp. It's perfect. The game has to figure out what to do when we teleport units onto tiles they can't stand on. I believe it uses the same priority as Summon Hero, nearest first, tie-breaking top-down, left-right. I also think that ordering applies to which units get moved first. To be honest, I'd recommend just messing around until you get what you want. Amber needs to refill his engage meter in 3 turns, so we start that clock immediately. Compared to a casual run of mine, it's fun to find these small optimizations. Anna and Alcris go next to him, so a single rescue can target all 3.
I'll protect you.
Any customers?
Citrinne has her own warp, divinely inspiring, as so often is needed for the KO.
My apologies. Allow your soul the rest it deserves. Sounds perfect.
Jean can tail smash this flyer.
Engage!
That means Chloé gets to do something. It's good to have everyone included, you know? Alir as a dragon gets +1 level from Roy's Rise Above. That extra point of dex and speed almost matter. I'm totally using this energy, trust me. Together these mages could kill a unit, but Alir can canter out of the other's range.
That was a fierce battle.
Diamant needs to recharge an engage meter in 2 turns, which combat arts can help us accomplish.
Emblem Engage.
Atrocity will almost certainly be used less than its less replaceable alternatives, but it often does far more damage than even houses Unite.
It's time. Who's next?
Lapis can keep this hallway under control, no problem. L-Surge's 10 crit is quite annoying on enemies, one of the many ways this map can burn rewinds. It's easy to get into the habit of looking at unit icons to determine their range, but there are important exceptions. Looking at 2 mages and a sword flyer, who would guess that the mages are melee and the flyer is 1-2 range?
Made quick work of that.
Camilla does stuff here. It's different stuff every time, so don't bother using this pattern to prepare. I've just ensured none of it will matter. This dragon is a problem you need to prepare for, because most units can't attack it. That means it's Failnaugh's time to shine. I find it funny that I'm not activating Diamant's personal at all. The way things worked out, unfair fights and shaky hit rates it is. It's important he move first because now Céline can rescue units further than before. Diamant's blocking a square one of them would have occupied. If I had a nickel for every time Céline couldn't use Canter after teleporting units because this map is so cramped, I'd have 2, which isn't a lot, but it's weird it's happened twice. These dragons haven't equipped their 3 range options yet, so Anna can safely chip. She's using the Spur attack ring to help another unit finish the job. With a strength tonic and Spur attack, Amber barely gets this kill. Note how Spur attack doesn't give true damage. The light brand hits doing 0, but with Divinely Inspiring, it'd do 3. Walkers can now finish what his brother started. The 2000 G this dragon drops is the only loot on the map. Again, it's as if they want you to warp past everyone.
Ready.
Citrinne can keep using Recover for XP. Thanks to the flyer's choice of square, Jean can kill the flyer and canter into range of both sorties.
Forgive me. We'll be together forever.
Alir's going to miss out on a chance to use Blazing Lion, but Jean's the priority target for XP. You aren't missing much. Instead of hitting 3 squares with a wet noodle, she gets to hit 6 because of her dragon synergy. Chloé keeps moving forward, unencumbered by terrain. Oh no, the sortie body blocked the other one. Never mind. Jean took care of it. Maybe equip the old Zar to play. 37% of the time, every time.
Together forever.
Diamant can now recharge on schedule. These sword fighters are evasive. Are you noticing a theme of frustrating RNG? We'll just keep taking pot shots and hoping things work out. Amber needs to move north so he can recharge next turn, but everyone else doesn't have anywhere to be. Thank you, Amber.
I've looked forward to this day.
It's a shame I didn't proc share spoils, but Lapis will come through for me, even without 100 hits.
I cannot afford to lose.
With Jean doing so well, Citrinne needs Recover to gain XP. I'll make sure Céline doesn't steal that, and then she can Great Sacrifice no problem.
I have to fight.
Jean can now try for the next crit kill.
I know just where to start.
Save some of these for later in the game, okay, Jean?
Here goes.
I will note here that Reprisal activates instantly, unlike the vast majority of such skills in Fire Emblem and in Engage. Chloé gets his kill on enemy phase, but not on player phase.
I will not be cut down.
This shielding art monk isn't a threat, but he is a sparring partner.
Emblem Engage! Gods, please protect us.
Okay, so the key difficulty with engaging Camilla is that she normally does her engage attack, which sets flames on the field in a 5x5 checkerboard, and generally complicates our normal boss tactics. Honestly, her AI is bizarre, and I don't pretend to fully understand it, but I do know that she can choose to just attack normally. Dangling a kill or break seems like the easiest way to make that happen, and we have just the thing. We're hoping for a summon juicy enough to get Camilla to attack straight up. Leaf's not what I was thinking of. The Master Lance sucks, so he will actually suffice.
I'll do it.
Damn! And so, I lose.
Before we wrap up, let's give everyone who isn't part of the kill their turn of training. Jean can use Divine Blessing, and Citrinne can take out her frustrations at being stuck in the rear.
For all our sake! Thank you.
May I call on you?
Not about to stop. May we all be protected.
Anna can attack this Bow Knight even if he goes south, which he can if Camilla one-rounds the summon. This guy's ridiculously strong, but we can at least chip him. I somehow managed to canter to the only incorrect square. Whoops. Now then, Leaf surviving a hit and baiting the Bow Knight here means Alcris gets a nice override. He won't block Amber this time.
I cannot allow this.
Diamant can now go for his engage attack. With how things work out, whether Alcris' override damages Camilla doesn't matter.
Emblem Engage!
Either way, Camilla's weakened enough for the next hit to kill.
Stand down!
This time there's no fake out. We really are going to use Contract and give Lapis both kills.
I must end you. I live to fight again.
Amber can quadruple hit to set that up.
Whoa! Engage!
We haven't used anything other than engage attacks, so everything's been 100% reliable here.
This is my fight!
Last thing to do is heal everyone up.
Will is firm. Emblem Engage! By any means necessary. I strike true!
The bond rank's honestly better than the XP. With Anna's support, Lapis has 100 hit, even if Diamant's not here to help.
My turn!
You were strong.
May not seem like 5 turns is a warp skip, but trust me, it's a lot faster than the long way. I'm happy to get out of here quickly with a new ally.
Is that enough, Camilla? Do we need to keep fighting?
No, I think you have proven yourself. It is clear your resolve is as strong as I'd hoped. I'll gladly join you. I look forward to fighting by your side.
Thank you.
Of course. I appreciate your sincerity. You might actually succeed in shining a light through the darkness of this world.
Thankfully, I don't have to do it alone. With your help, and all our friends and allies, I believe we can make it happen.
Quite true. It is difficult to achieve anything of consequence by oneself. I never could have hoped to defeat my father all on my own. Nor could I have imagined making peace with Hoshido. Thanks to Corin and all of our family and friends, we were able to change the world. I hope you will always cherish those closest to you.
I will. And I hope you'll continue to share your experiences during our time together.
Of course, sweet child. I would be delighted to do exactly that.
They really went for it with the acoustics here. You know, I appreciate that they at least kinda tried to figure out how to make Camilla the character work. I won't comment on whether they succeeded.
Well done.
Why did I want to play a sewer map for Camilla? Let's find out. Many DLC emblems are oddballs, and Camilla fits that bill. There's something for everyone, but it's not immediately clear how her kit coalesces into a game plan. She gives HP, speed, and resistance, with mixed engage weaponry. The Bolt Axe, a magic axe without the Hurricane Axe's limitations, and Lightning, a brave tome, are both fantastic. Camilla's axe, an axe that is Camilla's and has niche bonuses against enemy mages, is handy even if it's not some huge prize for bot level 15. Her engage skill, Soar, lets a unit cosplay as a flyer, complete with extra movement. It's surprisingly useful. You fly over terrain more often than you stay in the air. Soar gives a unit 90% of flight's benefits with none of its limitations. Her engage attack, Dark Inferno, uses axes and hits in a 5x5 checkerboard pattern, setting flames on the targeted squares afterwards. Axes have high might, so even Dark Inferno single hit can pack a punch, and with 2 axes as engage weapons, anyone can hit on defense or resistance as needed. The checkerboard pattern is unusual, so you get the same dopamine hit overrides have when you manage to one-shot a crowd of enemies. Like Corrin in the base game, Camilla has her own Dragon Veins, spawnable terrain effects for each battle style. That's one of the reasons she's joining the team early. There's a lot of room for creativity and preparation when you can modify terrain, and that's what this run is all about. There's no real standout option the way Corrin has with covert units, but there's neat stuff for each of them to do. Her other skills are, let's be generous and say, niche. Decisive Strike adds 5 and then 10 damage to player phase crits. It's situational because if you crit, any base damage increase gets tripled. Plus 5 damage is worse than plus 2 attack. You'll probably forget about Detoxify before you ever get a chance to use it in any way that matters. Groundswell makes Dragon Veins better on ground units, but it's nothing to get excited over. So what's the pitch for Camilla, and who should use her? Because her effects depend so much on the user's battle style, she feels quite different depending on her user. You can think of Camilla as a support emblem, focusing on terrain modification and Soar over offense. Dragon Allure gets their choice of Dragon Vein, Soar to achieve objectives like recruiting Jade faster, and a neat Savage Blow reference. Chi Adepts get the ice tiles from Tiki's Paralog, and as I've noted, you have very few options for increasing movement and engage. None of those units are going to do much damage with Camilla's weapons, note the lack of any strength or magic in her stat bonuses, but if they help your best combatants do their job, that's okay. You can also look at Camilla as a way to cheat the class system. Generic flying classes have many limitations in Engage. They're missing out on tomes, knives, high-rank staves, bows, and all the different battle-style bonuses. You can pair Camilla with a bow user like Ulcris to intercept enemy flyers in the air, or a thief like Yunaka to use terrain boosts normally out of reach. Decisive Strike also makes sense for weaker crit-happy units like Ulcris and Yunaka. The Covert Dragon Vein is quite good as a debuff for bosses. Other infantry styles also have their advantages. It's easy to think of situations where flying Brave Assist chain attacks or flying armored units could be helpful, and their Dragon Veins are good for support. The juiciest previously forbidden combo Camilla unlocks is Tomes and Flight. Griffin Knight's magic is significantly weaker than true magic classes, so even though Camilla doesn't boost damage directly, it's still often easier to hit benchmarks by giving a Mage Knight wings than by stacking magic on a Sword Griffin. Her engage weapons also fit wonderfully with mages. The Bolt Axe outdamages early tomes, Lightning will always have a niche against low-res enemies like armors, and Camilla's axe is great for mages fighting other mages. The water and flames from Cavalry and Mystical Dragon Veins aren't ideal, so you're sacrificing some utility, but there's a reason Malignite didn't make a return. Magic and Flight are a powerful pair. Even the less useful Dragon Veins have their niche, like Blazing Lion, often hampering enemy movement helps you divide and conquer. The last style, Flying, has more synergy with Camilla than you'd think. It feels wasteful to have Soar on a unit who doesn't need wings, but you get an extra 2 movement as compensation. Her stat bonuses and engage attack make a lot more sense on a Wyvern or Griffin than they do on most units. You're patching up the main weaknesses of Wyvern or doubling down on Griffin's strengths. You can more easily set up Dark Infernos, and sometimes 10 movements is better than anything else she can do. If you're expecting Conquest Camilla, a dominant combat unit with incredible skills, Emblem Camilla's poor stat bonuses and lackluster sync skills will disappoint. She instead echoes Birthright and Revelation. Terrain manipulation like on this map, interest in unit builds you can't otherwise get, and a lot of mechanical depth that isn't actually important for beating the game. Her most notable boons, Dragon Vein and Soar, both come at level 1. She isn't an emblem you necessarily staple to a single unit through the game. I think she's probably the tamest emblem in Engage in terms of raw power, but she offers irreplaceable tools. She'll shine on a run like this one. We're about to have the most important prep section in the game. I'll make my first video on skill inheritance next to commemorate the occasion as I finish my team's own early skill builds. After that, we're in for a real treat, the brilliant Chapter 10. Bye, Papaya!